The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of that. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throbbing my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too feeble and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty. Shake!
Earnestly Speaking podcast coming to you Wednesday night, December 18th, 2024. It is once again the Week 16 edition of EJ versus Degenerate. Of course, joined here by America's favorite degenerate. That is Zach, of course. What's up, Zachary?
You know, trying to be a degenerate. That's
really?
all.
How you been gambling? How's been gambling going lately?
Losing. What do degenerates do? We lose.
Yeah. And by the way, you did lose this week also, by one game this week. But we both weren't that good this week, honestly. I had 6 wins, you had 5.
Yeah.
But it's a rough week. So I'm back to my winning ways after like almost a month. So it is what it is. We got a lot to talk about on the podcast today. We're going to address a couple things here. I'll get your college football playoff prediction. We'll talk about the NBA All-Star game and their new format, which is let's just say that the reaction is probably isn't the reaction the NBA wants, and then some political talk on the back end about lots of fracturing going on in the left side of the left wing of the party, Democratic Party, or left wing, when they call it. But first, let's get to the best bets. Now, again, no more buys. We're on week 16, 3 weeks ago before the playoffs. First game, Thursday night, or by the time you hear this podcast, maybe tonight. But Broncos at Chargers. The Chargers are 2.5 point favorites. The over/under is 41.5. Zach, big game. Wildcard teams.
Yeah, it is. And look, Bo Nix is chasing down my man for Rookie of the Year. But after the beatdown the Chargers just took, no way in hell Denver survives. All right, Chargers coming to beat them down. I'll take the Chargers.
So it was a race last week. It might still be a race now. I'm gonna say though, Bo Nix did not have a good game on Sunday. He had three picks in that game. They won that game in spite of Bo Nix against the Colts. Jane Daniels had a better first half. Obviously, the Commanders didn't have a great second half. Almost lost the game late. But I think this week both guys separated themselves just a little bit. I think Jane Daniels put a little bit of separation. Again, race not over yet, but whereas the race was a lot tighter going into week 15, I think Jane Daniels put a little bit of distance between himself and Bo Nix. That being said, look, I already said the AFC playoff picture where you see it in terms of the teams is going to stick what it is. The Chargers right now are the 7th seed, fading a little bit the last couple of weeks, but they still have a 2-game lead over the next team in the race, which is the combination of the Colts, the Dolphins, and the Bengals. So as long as they do their job, which I think they'll do here on a short week, give me Chargers here, but I'll take the over as the best bet, actually. Honestly, that's the best bet for me. All right, we got 2 Saturday games. First one, Texans at Chiefs. The Chiefs are 3-point favorites. The over/under is 42, Zach.
Look, if Cleveland's defense couldn't show up, I know Houston's isn't going to. So give me Kansas City. I am so disappointed in that loser from Florida State not putting up points.
Yeah, that was bad. And they benched him, by the way. We'll get to that in a second. But they benched him for the week 16, rather. I don't care if Mahomes plays or not. Carson Wentz is a good backup to have in a tight spot. You got Andy Reid there. It could be Carson Wentz, Carson Daly, Carson Palmer. It doesn't matter. Give me the Chiefs win this game. And to me, it's less about the Chiefs and more about Houston. I just don't trust them. You put 20 points only against the Dolphins on Sunday. And yeah, you won the game. I get it. But Houston, like, I hate knocking them because they're 9-5. And 9-5 is a good spot to be in. You're a good team. You're a tier 3 team probably in the league. But this year has felt underwhelming for both CJ Stroud and Texas as a whole. Now, look, Dwayne Ryan's not a hot seat by any means. He's doing a good job. But, and obviously, if you're a Texas fan, you'd rather be here than where you were 2 years ago. Let's put it that way. So, perspective is needed here. But I expected more from Texas this year. I mean, clearly did not get that. They're going to be they feel like a one-done team in the playoffs, even with home field advantage in the wildcard round. But yeah, give me Casey. Give me Casey to win this game, regardless if Mahomes plays or not with an injury. All right. The second Saturday game is a banger, probably the game of the week. Steelers at Ravens. The Ravens 6-point favorites. The over/under is 45. Zach.
This is simple, man. Steelers always play the Ravens tough.
Yep.
They know how to shut Lamar down. I can't remember him ever having a good game against the Steelers. So give me Tomlin plus the points. So
there's some concern here. I know TJ Watt is planning on playing, but he did get hurt in that game against the Eagles on Sunday. George Pickens may miss this game too. It'll be his third straight game missed if he doesn't play. Ravens look sharp after the bye against the Giants, albeit it is the Giants. We get that. Yeah, Lamar Jackson. I don't know if you see his numbers though. I had a chance to look at his numbers till this morning. He leads the league in passing.
Yeah,
he has 34 touchdowns and 3 picks. He's leading in passing, but he's a running back apparently.
And 2 first round draft picks was too much.
Yeah,
these teams trade 2 first round draft picks to move up for someone they have no clue about.
No.
But they weren't willing to do that. I'm sorry. Every franchise who didn't have a franchise quarterback back then, you should fire your GMs.
Yep, I'm with you. That being said, the vibe, look, I acknowledge the Steelers play the Ravens very well every time they play. It's a rivalry, probably still one of the best rivalries in the league to this day. But this has Baltimore all over it, and Baltimore winning in the blowout. Give me the Ravens here. In a rare blowout against the Steelers here, actually. This is more based on vibes. I just feel like the Ravens are, after they lost the first matchup against them, and given the injuries also on the Steelers side too as well, it just feels like a blowout coming here. Give me the Ravens to cover this game, 6 points. All right, let's get the Sunday games here. We have my Giants at Falcons. The Falcons are 8.5-point favorites. The over/under is 42. Zach, it's Penix time.
It's Penix time, and since he was my guy going in the draft, I'm going to at least take Atlanta for 1 week.
Yeah.
I got to ride with the guy.
Michael Penix, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Michael Shea, okay, Michael Phelps. It don't matter who plays quarterback for the Falcons. Falcons win running away because the Giants stink. Just that simple. All right? Give me Atlanta win this game and cover the spread. Look, I don't think they win the South. I think the Buccaneers are firmed up to get that done, although the race is not done yet by a long shot. But I think this will be the jolt they need here for the Falcons to make a last end of season run. By the way, we're probably about 2 weeks late, at very least 2 weeks late on this move, right? Kirk Cousins, right?
Yeah, but I'm happy they're making the move when it's a team you would expect them to beat versus putting them up against a team with a stellar defense and be like, oh, well, the team's offense struggles, so maybe the Giants just suck. All right. So it's nice to throw a rookie quarterback out against a team that just sucks.
Yeah. All right, next game here, rather. This is actually going to be a 4:00 game. I got flexed this week. Patriots at Bills. The Bills are 14-point favorites. The over/under is 46.5, Zach.
Oh, I'll take the Bills all day. All day. I don't care what the spread is. You'd have to go up to 20 to make me question.
What's funny is that what difference 10 years makes? Hell, 5 years. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, same spread, different teams.
Yeah, 10
right?
years ago, definitely.
Yeah. What difference 10 years makes? Buffalo is heating up. I'm concerned about the Bills a little bit though. They put up I think 100 points, so close to 100 points in the last 2 weeks. But they also given up like almost 90. So I'm a little concerned with the Bills defense a little bit moving forward against great teams. And I don't want to say that Josh Allen reliant, but It kind of feels that way.
Yeah, but one of them was Detroit. All right, Detroit scores points. The Patriots do not.
What about the Rams? I'm talking about bigger picture. I'm talking about
The Rams have studs at wide
of course.
receiver
No,
and a
no,
stud quarterback.
my larger point, though, is that I'm more concerned bigger picture, not so much this game. Buffalo's this game. Buffalo's my pick. And Buffalo's going to cover the spread with ease. I'm just saying bigger picture. Are we concerned about the Bills, even though they're number one on my power rankings this week?
I wouldn't be too worried about them. All right.
Okay. All right, next game here. Lions at Bears. The Lions are currently 6.5-point favorites. The over-under is 47.5, Zach.
Lions need this game so desperately now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The fact the Bills came in, whooped you up and down, and proved if the Lions don't get out to a lead, they're going to struggle because they don't have a defense. They cannot make stops anymore. The Lions literally have to score on every offensive possession to win.
They do. The injuries are scary. As great as it's been this year, it's funny how we were saying a 12-2 team needs to win this game because the environment, the number one seed's up for grabs. The Vikings are around I can't even say they're on the heels. They're tied right now, and they play Week 18. The Eagles are 12-2 as well as two, and they have the easier schedule of the three teams. The Lions will definitely want to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. The last three games, Chicago this week, obviously. You have the Niners the week after, and then close out the year against the Vikings. This is a must-win for the Lions, obviously. You take Detroit here in this one?
Absolutely.
I think they win the game, but I like the Bears on the points here because, again, I know we watched the game on Monday night together, the Vikings-Bears game Monday night at Flanagan's. But
I know you had, 6.5?
Yeah, shut up. And here we go again, 6.5 points. I'm going the other way. But divisional optics, they're at home. Detroit's mass unit right now currently. I think they win the game, but do I see a Bears team fighting here? Trying to play spoiler? Absolutely. So give me Chicago on the points here. All right. We have Titans at Colts. The Colts are 3.5-point favorites. The over-under is 42.5, Zach. A snoozer.
Well, I heard they're benching Willis. Do we know who the backup is? Because offhand, I
Mason Rudolph, my friend.
Ooh.
Rudolph, the red-nosed quarterback.
Well, since you put it that way, I'm going to take Tennessee. I wasn't going to, but just saying that makes me think, okay, we're going into Christmas next week. Give me Rudolph.
Is it color Christmas? Is it because of the
let us know shine bright to a victory, baby.
No, give me Indy here. I'm not gonna get cute about this one. Indy's frisky as hell. For every two bad losses, they have a good win here. Here's a good one come up here. The 6th for a reason, inconsistent, but they'll win the game here. Nothing more to be said. I took Indy to win this game outright and cover. It is kind of weird to have the spread being this low, though, I will say. All right, how about this one? Interesting game here. Rams at Jets. The Rams are 3-point favorites. The over-under is 46.5, Zach.
Ooh. Now, this one, I would want to take the Rams, but I really believe the safer bet's going to just be the over. Both teams can score. I don't really have a lot of faith in the Jets defense at this point in the season to be shutting people down. So I'm going to assume Sauce Gardner has sent it in for the season.
I love how you said that the both teams can score like the Jets can score. That's a new thing now. The last 2 weeks, this 2 weeks last for the Jets have been the best 2 weeks we've seen in probably in 2 years, and for Aaron Rodgers plays 3 years. What's funny? This is a scary game for the Rams because the Jets, look, they're out of the playoff hunt, obviously, but there is a lot of value to the Jets ending this year strong because, and especially in Aaron Rodgers' case, because there aren't many options for Aaron Rodgers beyond this season, like to go. Like even with a dry quarterback market, there is not a team out there that's going to take a risk on them.
So I have one question.
Go ahead.
when you know your team that has no chance of making the playoffs,
Right.
why is it good to win? Why is it good to worsen your draft
Well,
status?
I'm saying this from an Aaron Rodgers perspective more than anything else, because if they fall apart the next couple of weeks, and look, even if they win out, it may still happen. They may find a way to cut him or get rid of him, but they are probably stuck with him another year. And Rodgers, to me, is either he plays the Jets next year or he retires.
Yeah.
So that is his options. There's no other 31 teams going to touch him at all. I don't see that. So there is some value to ending for him anyway mentally, and for the team too also, because this core is pretty much together for another year at least, to ending this year strong and having it spill over to next year. Maybe next year you have some good vibes. Oh, maybe end of the year on a nice little winning streak. We beat some quality teams in the process, and now we can say, okay, we'll end the year. Say the end of the year 7-10. You feel a little better about the team now than you did, say, a month before that. And going to 2025, and you hope you build around the edges. Rodgers has looked pretty good, really good the last couple of weeks, and maybe that's what he needs, the spark he needs. I don't know. So the Jets can actually win this game. In fact, I wouldn't surprise if they do. But I'm with you. The best bet's the over. Most of these teams can score. In case of the Jets, they can score now. You know what I mean? So the over is definitely the best bet. I agree with you on that one. All right. Eagles at your Commanders. Eagles are 3.5-point favorites. The over-under is 45, Zach.
Oh, man. We have not had a good offensive game from start to finish since probably week 6. I'm going to say the Eagles win by 10. I'm not even... When we did this to begin the season, there was no way I would have seen the Commanders win this game, and I still don't see the Commanders winning this game. All right. It's two different classes right now. I had more faith in the first matchup than I did this one.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I like what I see. It's funny. If you told me right now, coming to the year, that if you're a Commanders fan, which you are obviously, if you're entering week 16 9-5, you'd be very happy about that. And you should be that. And you should be overall.
So happy.
And you should be even now. But there's been some breaks here and there, and they haven't looked good. They haven't put a complete game, as you said, in quite a while. They still haven't put away the wild card yet either. Because both Seattle and or the Rams are only a game behind, depending who loses the division in the West. So there's still time for them to mess this up. So this is a must-win for the Commanders. It really is.
No, this is not the must-win. The must-win is next week. This is an expected loss. Slow down.
Who are they playing next week?
Anybody but the Eagles.
Okay. That said,
honestly, okay.
Go ahead.
There's 4 teams in the NFL where I don't think they can step on the field and compete with. Eagles, Detroit, the Chiefs, and the Bills. Okay. Everyone else, I believe, they could stand on the field and compete with. This just ain't the game.
Well, Eagles win this game. I don't doubt that at all. But best bet, I kind of like the over here. Yeah, I'm going to the over in this one. All right. Next game here. Cardinals at Panthers. The Cardinals are 4.5-point favorites. The over-under is 46.5, Zach.
Man, this is a tough one. 3 weeks ago, this would have been a surefire win for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
But then I watched last week, and Bryce Young looked like hot garbage again.
Yeah.
I'm going to believe that's who he is, and I'll take Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona's win this game there, but the best bet for me is the under. I think Bryce Young will shit the bet again, probably. That's what a letdown. Like, you buy into the Panthers for 1 week. First time they're favorites in like 2 years, I think it was. I saw the stat. And then they shit the bet against Dallas at home. Like, really, like dude?
The first time Dallas was an underdog at home in, like, I don't know, 3 years or so.
Yeah, something like that. But Yeah, I'll take the under this one. Arizona should win this game, though. Arizona, if you had told me a month ago that this team would be 7-7 after being on the bye week and looking good and leading the West by a game or so, and then they have fallen apart ever since. Now, granted, they won this week against New England this past week, but still, it's New England. I would have said, nah, no way. But here we are. That being said, again, the best bet's the under for me. So give me the under. You have Arizona, I think the under. All right, Battle of Ohio. We teased it earlier. Browns at Bengals. The Bengals are 7.5-point favorites. The over-under is 47, Zach.
Oh, come on now. That half a point is everything I need. Give me the Browns.
Oh, my God.
Jameis is going against a team that can't play defense. This is like his dream scenario.
Yeah, but he's not playing. He's not playing this week, though.
Oh, shit. He's not?
No. They brought the quarterback with 3 names. It was a Dorian, Holly something.
Oh, Dorian Robinson something?
Holly Robinson something.
Oh, fuck. Change my pick.
Cincinnati.
I'll take Cincy.
I will too also. And for the record, even with James Winston, I probably still take Cincy. Joe, again, it's so disappointing. Joe Burrow, if this team's even around 500, he's an MVP candidate. Does he have that kind of year?
Yeah, well, it's gonna be even worse next year. They're gonna have fewer weapons and be even more cash strapped.
That's why I told you. I think in the next 2 years, ask for a trade. That's my hot take. We'll see. All right. This is a big game here. Vikings at Seahawks. Vikings 3-point favorites. The over-under is 43, Zach.
Ooh, I love the Vikings in this game. All right. They're now feeling a chance at a 1 seed with everything tied up. That defense is going to be playing lights out. And after Jefferson blew a touchdown this past weekend, come on. You know he wants to have a big game.
Say Minnesota?
Absolutely.
So, if I asked you right now, Minnesota Vikings right now, Super Bowl contenders, you say what? Yes or no?
I say
the fact to think about it is only you know.
It's an NFC championship matchup thing. That's what it is.
Right. So how I view contenders. Do I see this team playing in an NFC title game with the right to go to the Super Bowl?
Oh, well, if that's it, then yes, I do, because I can see him getting to the title game.
See, I still am on the fence on that one, but I will say this much. I'll say no, first off, right now. They ask right now. However, these next 3 games can change that for me. The next 3 games end of the year, this is their closing statement. At Seattle, Green Bay at home next week, and then the big thriller against the Lions on week 18. If they even win 2 out of 3 games, I'm buying in. 3-0 obviously will do a lot, but if you win 2 of those 3 games.
And if we were to project out right now, who are you afraid of? It's only the Eagles, because really the Lions, if you can get out early on them, you stand a chance of winning.
Not only that, they almost beat them the first time.
You're not going to be afraid of any team coming out of the West.
And they're banged up.
You're not afraid of any team coming out of the South. So literally, you're either afraid of a team in your division or you're afraid of the Eagles. So that's the thing. You cannot not say that they're not a Super Bowl contender, because it's so easy to project them to an NFC title game. And then all it takes is mishaps.
Yeah. Best bet is the over for me. They should win this game. Seattle, I've been saying, just when you buy into Seattle, he's buying into Seattle. Now, granted, you and I did pick Green Bay last week, but they got embarrassed. That game was never close. Yeah, Seattle was the frauds. Give me the over in this game. Best bet. All right. Probably the worst game of the year. Jaguars and Raiders. Raiders 1-point favorites. Over under 40.5. Zach.
I would actually take Jacksonville. I just can't take the Raiders. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's because I think Ritter shouldn't even be in the league.
That's one.
I don't know if I don't believe their coach should be a head coach.
Slow down that one, but give him a chance, I think, another year. But
The
You know,
Raiders.
you know, I'm an AP guy, man. I'm not.
The
I'm
Raiders
bored.
are the biggest piece of hot garbage in the NFL to me.
Worse than Giants?
Yes.
Ooh, okay, that's saying something. I think Jags win this game, but best bet, give me the under. None of these teams can score, honestly. So give me under in this one for this one. We're moving this game. This is a shit game. The shame game. All right, Niners at Dolphins. Dolphins 1-point favorites over under 45. Zach.
Well, the fact it's going to be down here in warm weather and San Francisco is not above 500, all signs point to Miami winning this game. But I don't think it happens. Give me the 49ers.
I started writing it, and then you said, never mind. Oh, you bastard. I'm going Dolphins this one. They still have faint playoff hopes, very faint playoff hopes. That could be done by the end of this weekend, especially lose this game. The Niners are. It's a sad story. It's like Detroit. No bodies. There was just these Detroit won their game early in the year.
Yeah.
I think Dolphins just because of the speed and just because there's no more bodies to the Niners at this point now. Dolphins win this game just because of that. Give me Dolphins win this game to cover. All right, Sunday football. Bucks at the Cowboys. Bucks 4-point favorites over under 48.5. Zach.
Oh man, you have to love the Bucks in this game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, probably the smarter bet would be the over, but I'm not going to do it. I'm still going to stick with Tampa. I think Baker would love to go into Dallas and just throw up huge numbers.
Yeah, and he can do that, but the best bet's the under. I can't see Cooper Rush scoring a lot of points. If Tampa wins the game in a blowout, it'll be like
He's
31.
done it multiple times this year already.
I mean, well, right. He'll Baker. Well,
20 points. You get 20 points from Dallas, and the Bucks cover the spread.
27-20 Bucks. That's still under. So under still hits. 48.5. Yeah, it's a lot of points. If it was at 45 or 46, I would say okay, I get it. But 48.5. Yeah, Bucks win this game definitely. But give me the under this one. Best bet, honestly. All right, and then Monday Night Football. We have the Saints at Packers. Packers are 14-point favorites. The over-under is 43, Zach.
Can I eat 14 wings?
Of course you can.
Well, yeah, I can, but I'll also be drinking beer.
That's true. That's very true, knowing you.
Yeah, I'll still do it. I'm going to say Green Bay can outscore how many chicken wings I can eat while we watch. So,
all right. You got Green Bay, right?
yes, sir.
Me too. Number one's in the cold. The Saints don't play well in the cold. Number two, who's the quarterback now? The Saints quarterback now? I have no idea. Jake somebody.
Oh.
Jake from State Farm. Jake Snake Roberts. Jake Ryan from the 16 Candles. Like, come on, what are we doing here? Packers, look, Green Bay is one of those teams in NFC that, yes, I can see playing in this NFC title game, but I'm not as confident that's going to happen because I think they're a little bit of a Jekyll and Hyde team, at least when it comes to like playing the elites in the NFC or the league for that matter. But yeah, this game though in the frozen tundra, come on now, what are we doing here? Give me the Packers win this game and cover easy. Saints go on the road, come on now. They're packing it in now at this point. So, all right, so there's your Week 16 best bets in the National Football League. All right, quickly here, and I'm just going to ask you straight up. I'll give my picks on the next episode I record tomorrow on this podcast. I'm gonna do a whole bracketology when it comes to the entire college playoff. I'm gonna ask you right now, Zach, straight up, give me your picks for the 4 games this weekend in the college football playoff in the quarterfinals. All right, first one, Notre Dame versus Indiana. Who wins?
Indiana.
Straight up.
Straight up.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like it. Texas, Clemson. Who wins?
Texas.
Okay.
Look, I'm sorry. I have no faith in an ACC team.
Oh, no, of course.
And I hate Dabu.
Okay. Oh, everybody hates Dabu Swimming. Come on now. Penn State and what am I saying? Penn State, SMU.
Dude, this is where my ACC love comes back into play. Sorry, Penn State, go back home. You losing.
Did Jay Frank get fired?
No.
Okay. Last one. Tennessee, Ohio State.
That's a tough one.
Probably game of the week.
That is, I would, looking at the matchups, I would say, yeah, easily game of the week. Oh, man. If I pick against Ohio State, it's like signing the death wish for Ryan Day. He's out.
Oh, he's out. Like, at this point, I think we all accept the fact that it's pretty much title or bust for Ryan Day. Maybe gets to the next title game, maybe okay, but title or bust secures his job pretty much.
All right. Because of all the pressure and all the hope, I'll take Ohio State. But I'm not feeling confident in that one.
I don't blame you. Who's winning the entire tournament overall, Zach? In your opinion? Who do you have?
Fucking hate saying it.
Just say it.
Texas, actually.
Utah, Texas, wasn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
I've really been that impressed with Texas last month or so. But again,
they've had the time off. That's the problem.
That's what helps. And what I love about this new playoff format now, especially all the weeks off, it's a new life now. It's a new season. That's why I love the 12 playoff. Again, I'll have my my predictions. I'm going to break down the entire bracket on the next episode we record. My next solo episode, so maybe tomorrow morning, with that one. All right. NBA news. We have a new NBA All-Star Game format. All these damn formats changes. All right, so here's a breakdown here of the format. It's a mini tournament with 4 teams and 3 games. Okay.
Stupid.
So,
keep going.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you'll have 24 NBA All-Star selections divided evenly into 3 8-player teams.
Stupid.
4th team is Castro Rising Stars champion.
Stupid.
Okay. Second thing here. Honorary team general managers, team analyst Charles Barkley,
Stupid.
Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith, and Candace Parker.
Stupid.
Okay? Next thing here. Barkley, O'Neal, and Smith draft their team rosters from the pool of 24 NBA All-Star selections. Parker is GM of Castro's Rising Star champion. Yep. 2 teams meet in one semifinal game, game 1, and remaining 2 teams meet in the other semifinal game, game 2.
Stupid.
Winning teams from games 1 and game 2 advance from each other in championship, game 3.
Stupid.
Yeah. Winner each game is first team to reach. Winner each game is first team to reach or surpass 40 points.
Yeah. All of this is
all dumb.
Stupid.
All dumb. I hate it. And look. Let me say this about Adam Silver. Kudos for trying new things. Better to try new things, and it fails. Okay, cool. It failed. We tried something. Okay. But the problem isn't that. The problem is we need players to give a fuck about these games to some degree.
So here's the thing. You want to improve the All-Star weekend, right?
Yeah.
Force your stars that put up highlight dunks during the season to participate in the slam dunk and make it a real contest.
Right.
Everything else goes out the window.
I'm also think too as well that I feel the same about the Pro Bowl too. Also for years, you can't fix it. It's like, why invest money into fixing the All-Star game of the Pro Bowl? They're exhibition games for a reason. Who cares? Let it be what it is. Now, would I rather players treat the All-Star game a little more serious instead of jacking up 3-point shots from behind the half court line? Yeah, of course. But I'm not gonna get mad about that because it's an exhibition game. I get it. There's nothing much you can do. To be frank, the only All-Star game I actually care about really that actually is somewhat even up, that's actually on par is probably the baseball All-Star game. They take that a little more seriously.
Yeah, because we put whoever wins gets home field advantage.
Which I hate for the record. I do hate that.
But you know what? That actually creates a reason to win.
No, agreed. No, but I think being able to, well, first off, and maybe it's me being an old man on the line, and you and I are the same age. Shouldn't you just embracing competition as a whole should be enough.
You would think, but again, you're asking people who make $50 million to care about 125 grand.
Yeah, it was
Like, that's the prize pool for the winning team. Why would I go out and risk injury and try hard for 125 grand?
You know what it may take, honestly, though, is for NBA ratings to continue dipping. Right, it won't affect right now because it's a new CBA. They got their money. But the next CBA, but the next CBA in 6 years, ratings still stays low. Interest continues to wane. Next thing you know, the BRI now is much lower. All of a sudden, the $50 million contracts no longer exist because nobody gives a fuck. Because if you don't give a fuck, why should we care? And it's gonna take self-awareness from these players and these owners too, but the players as well, to fix that problem. It's really a simple issue. It's a simple fix. Self-awareness.
So I'm going to give you 3 things I think would fix the NBA All-Star.
Okay.
1, force the top 10 players with the top 10 highlight dunks to have to participate in the slam dunk.
Okay.
2nd, All-Star game. The 24 guys who get selected can either choose to play or choose a player who has not been picked to the All-Star game to represent them.
Okay.
3rd, and finally, you make it so that the players who play in the All-Star game, the 65 game minimum does not matter to your future contract. You know how right now, in order to get an All-NBA nod or an MVP award or something, you have to play 65 games?
Right.
If you participate and you play your ass off and it's a competitive game, then your contract is different. You make it those 3 things, and I think you fix the whole NBA All-Star game. And I'll throw one last segment in there.
Right.
Skip the WNBA NBA mix of skills competition. That's
I think it's there. I think it's there mainly for marketing purposes.
Oh, it is. But you can't have that there for marketing purposes and then cry about guys not trying in the All-Star game. Yeah. If you're going to make it a marketing thing for the WNBA, then guess what? The men in the NBA don't need to freaking try hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think the simple fix really is, hey, players, be more self-aware. People like myself and Zach, we pay hundreds of dollars to go see guys play.
Yeah.
For once.
It's going to be $490.
Pretend to give a shit. That's all I ask you to do.
For 2 tickets to the Magic Laker game later this year, it's going to be almost $500 for me and the wife.
Yeah.
Y'all asses better show up and play. They're sitting out on road games.
That's what a risk you're taking on that one. But LeBron may miss time. He may miss that game. Who knows, man? And again, it's one thing to be hurt if you're hurt legitimately, and I get that. It happens. But some of these players are just so not self-aware. And I'm concerned because I love the sport. I love the league. I'm more defensive of that league than any other in a league in this country. But I want them to do right also too. Do right.
I just feel like of all the sports, the younger players in the NBA could care less about their fans.
Right.
Like, all they care about is they got their contract and they got their money. They could care less.
It may require the NBA falling apart like it did like 40 years ago before Magic and Bird.
Yeah.
Before players get it. People get it. You know what I'm saying?
I think it takes a lockout. It takes a lockout by the owners to go, this is bullshit.
Yeah. Well, the problem is the owners are part of the problem too also. Because they like the load management stuff, they encourage this crap also too.
Yeah.
So they're part of the problem as well. The issue is that we don't ever blame them because they're not front and center. We don't see Mickey Arison or whoever ex-owner in our face all the time. We see Jimmy Butler, we see Jason Tatum, we see Jokic, So they're the first line defense. The owners don't get a pass because they're not in our face all the time. But they're part of the problem too. They're part of the problem.
I agree.
So, all right. Last thing, politics talk. So I've been really fascinated by I can't believe it's been already 5 or 6 weeks right since the election. And the autopsy, and not just the autopsy, but the reaction to the left wing, the just and not just the Democratic Party, just like left leaning voters, commentators, whether they're liberal, progressive, leftist, what it may be, and the fracture you're seeing in the last 6 weeks post-mortem of Trump getting reelected. Like you, for example, like I'm watching a lot of commenters I enjoy, like the Young Turks, for example, and Cenk Unger and Kasparian, and now they're being accused of becoming right wing because they actually have agreement with like Don Jr., Trump Jr., and Elon Musk that they should cut spending, somewhere. And Cenk saying that he knows exactly where he can start cutting spending. Of course, that's on the defense and the Pentagon. And people, of course, are very sensitive to that on the left about anyone leaving the left to go to the right. And it's just like a lot of infighting in the left in the party. And I get it. I get this sensitivity of people who've left the left in the years past and gone right, whether it be a grift or be a real change in political ideology they've had, an awakening, want to call that. It's just fascinating to see the back and forth, what's going on. Today, funny enough, which is crazy because as crazy as Piers Morgan is, I don't know if you know who Piers Morgan is, obviously. Piers Morgan's show is entertaining. So today, that was actually the topic of the show, most of the topic of the show, the debate. He had Cenk Unger on there. He had Dave Rubin, who's a former liberal, now conservative, who's gay, for the record.
He's a grifter.
He's a grifter. I've been saying it for years now.
He's an absolute grifter.
I've been saying it for years, and Cenk called him out on the show today. You had another former lefty, kind of centrist now on a show, not very famous, but whatever. You had Dave Smith, libertarian, who I actually do like a lot. You had Lindy Lee, who is a Democratic surrogate who's actually fundraised for Kamala on the during the election, and then has been getting a lot of shit because she's asking where all that money go, where you raised $2 billion and somehow you're still $20 million in the hole. And a lot of people in the Democratic Party are giving her shit, calling her a whore and all this kind of crap, which is bullshit in my opinion. And now she's being pushed out of the party too also. So there's all this fracturing going on in the party. And it's so fascinating. We haven't even gotten to January 20th yet. And already people are already panicking in this, like, within the party. What do you stand on all this stuff? I know you follow this stuff like I do, but what do you stand on all this?
I feel like almost all of it is a grift. Like, all of these Democrats who come out and are now jumping on, yeah, we got to cut spending. It's all a fucking grift. And it's also, they're all jumping and falling right in line behind Elon Musk. No one's going to stand up to Elon Musk because he's the most powerful human being in the world. He's the richest human being in the world. And he's getting unchecked by both sides. But when you hear all these supposed liberals, supposed Democrats who are like, yeah, we got to cut spending here. How about we start with eliminating tax loopholes and the tax cuts for the wealthy and the tax cuts for the businesses? I remember when the deficits were pretty much in line. We were barely, we had tiny deficits. And it was because we had higher taxes on the rich. We had higher taxes on the businesses. We had fewer tax loopholes. When was the last time you heard a Democrat or a Republican talk about doing away with the carried interest deduction? Now, what are you hearing Donald Trump talk about? Oh, we need to bring back the SALT tax. Start letting people write those off again. Right? So all we want to do is keep letting the wealthiest Americans get away with robbery without paying taxes. And when I say that, I'm not talking about doctors in our country who are the 2%, the 3%, the 4% range. I'm talking about the 1% and the higher. The
Yeah.
the point the point one to the full 1% of the richest human beings have gained this system and are abusing this system to the point it's destroying this country. But what are they talking about? Yeah, we had to cut spending here. We're gonna cut defense spending. Elon Musk, hell, he wants to cut veteran spending. Donald Trump, he's going to fall in line because it's Elon Musk.
Of course.
Elon Musk is smart. I like him because he likes me. Oh, we're going to cut food subsidies. Well, how about instead of cutting the food subsidies, you make it so that you can only buy healthy food. Like you can only buy actual vegetables and meat and starches and fruits. You can't go buy fucking potato chips, pizza slices, cookies. You can't buy that shit. How about we do that? No, it's, well, we got to cut necessary spending. So
Yeah.
I call bullshit on all of them.
Is there something to be said that the real fight now is no longer right versus left anymore? Because I think what we've seen the last 8 to 10 years, even further back before then, is a realignment now of folks, where political ideologies are so fluid now, where there are things where Democrats used to believe in. And when I say Democrats, when I say Democrats, I'm talking about the apparatus, not about necessarily the voters. Because it's easy to say, "Oh, I'm a Democrat, so therefore you believe everything the Democratic Party stands for." No, fuck no. And I know you don't. For example, I know you have a lot of issues with the Democratic Party.
Oh, hell yeah. I could solve our country's problems so fucking quick.
Right. So the problem is an apparatus. So like you have so my point is, to me anyway, and maybe you feel the same way too also, it's less now about right wing, left wing, conservative, liberal now, and more about establishment and populists. It's more it's class. It's class warfare.
But it's not, because the populists keep nominating billionaires on the right. Like, how is it populist first elitist when everybody?
So you say the populist right, and you're talking the populist right more than anything else.
I'm sorry. The populist left is controlled by Nancy Pelosi in the House,
Right.
Chuck Schumer in the Senate, and Joe Biden with $100 million in the presidency. It's not a populist versus an elitist. It is literally a con game where the rich just keep playing people against each other, where they think, oh, if we cut this spending here, you'll be better off. No, because all of that cut spending is to benefit the rich. That's all it is.
The populist left, though, wanted Bernie Sanders twice and got screwed and kneecapped by the elites of the Democratic Party. That even though he had the votes to in 2016 to become a nominee, they found ways around that to get Hillary Clinton.
He got kneecapped in 2016 because we have super delegates in the Democratic Party, which we don't have in the Republican Party.
Right.
All right. That in itself is the rigged system. Having super delegates that can completely eliminate the entire popular vote of a state.
Which could be bullshit.
Yeah. But to me, until we start voting in people who have less than $1 million and aren't there for stock trading, it's never populist versus elitist. It's elitist versus elitist.
But I think a lot of folks who left the Democratic Party and found a home somewhere in MAGA world. Because there is something to be said. There is a lane. That I've been studying this shit for now 8 years. That Bernie to Trump lane, that's a real thing.
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree. But you know what we've noticed? So when Bernie was doing that, he was talking about making the rich pay higher taxes,
Right.
eliminating tax loopholes, right? Forcing businesses to pay workers higher. What you see on the right is not that. When the right populists elect people, it's because it's immigration, 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 immigration. Like the right populace still hasn't figured out the person who walked 2,000 miles to get to this country for a better life isn't your enemy. It's the company and the person hiring them that is your enemy. And guess what? Nothing has changed.
Yeah,
They voted
yeah.
for, hold on. We live in MAGA country, right? We live in the heart of MAGA country in Palm Beach County.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump still needs 200, 300 freaking work visas. You're telling me 300 people in all of Palm Beach County would not want to work for that man? That's what you're telling me as a populist on the right, that we just don't have enough people, and even a county with 2 million people who voted red, that would want to work for him. That's what it is. The rich are just playing a game and trying to manipulate.
The populist right, I think, are lost, in my opinion, and because their grievance with the Democratic Party is so high now that they're willing to spite their nose and vote for Trump.
Yeah.
But also not identifying that, okay, cool, but in my opinion, Donald Trump is a fake populist. He talks like a populist, but he's not really a populist, though.
Donald Trump put up almost as much in the deficit in 4 years as Obama did in 8. And why? Because we cut business taxes. We cut the taxes on the wealthiest 1%. Oh, and then you were asleep at the wheel for COVID. And then your idea to solve it was to throw $7 trillion at it and yell, oh, that spending didn't cause any problems. It was the $600 billion to the American people when Biden came in that caused inflation. They can't do fucking basic math.
Right.
Basic math would teach you how to solve our country in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just so fascinated by the fracturing on the left wing. Because there's definitely grifters, there's definitely bad actors in there. But it's funny. Even people accuse me if I platform or have conversations with someone who's on the right, for example, and who I have disagreements with on policy, but I might agree with one thing they said or see their point. Somehow I get targeted being someone that's MAGA. Literally, look at some of my old videos. There's comments on this podcast I get because I platform a conservative who I disagree with on policy, but I want to have a conversation with, and yet I get targeted as a MAGA guy, which is complete bullshit. Because I never in the 3 cycles of Donald Trump was president, I never voted for the guy ever.
The MAGA belief system, I got no problem with. It's the fact you're voting for a person who doesn't even believe it. He's conning you. And everyone in the political system who is MAGA is conning you. They're literally getting richer as you're getting poorer, and you can't even see it. That is my problem with the right populist. And anyone who takes issue with certain things. Yeah, look, if you're a leftist or liberal or just a central Democrat, and you want to argue about subsidies, that's cool. You want to argue about certain tax breaks and tax cuts and tax loopholes. Hey, I'm for you. But when you start to go by with, well, maybe we do need to deny certain people Social Security and Medicare, or maybe we do need to have a cut to it. Well, that tells me you're an idiot and you can't even think of another solution.
Yeah. We'll leave it there. Like I said, this is interesting times we are now, as we are still a month away from the inauguration of Donald Trump 2.0. So anyway, programming note before we get going, no podcast with us next week because of Christmas. In fact, I'm probably going to go dark the entire week for all shows. We'll see how that plays out. So Zach, I'll talk to you, in private, but public here. Merry Christmas. We'll talk the week after, probably New Year's week. And we got planned for the Christmas. What do you got planned?
Work Christmas Eve day, work Christmas Eve night, work Christmas day, work Christmas Day night.
So basically normal day for you.
Yeah.
Good Lord, Zach. Take a break, man. Gosh.
I try and make sure that the people I work with who have kids get to be home for the holidays with their kids.
Right.
Don't have kids.
It's true.
I'm gonna work. I'm at home. I have 2 jobs. I'm gonna be working. Why would I stay home from one job and screw over people with kids?
True.
To me, it's selfish. I wouldn't do that.
You're a good man. You're a good man. I mean, I'm sure they appreciate that.
No, because I don't tell them that. I tell them, do you want to make extra money or not? That's what I ask my guys. Do you want overtime? Do you want extra money?
Right.
Or do you want to stay home with your family? I want to stay home. Cool. I'll work then. That's what I do.
There you go. All right, Zach. We'll talk soon. Enjoy the rest of your, I say vacation, not vacation. You're going to be working anyway. So enjoy the holidays, of course.
Hey, man.
All right, brother.
You enjoy your Christmas with your wife and kids, man.
You got it. You got it, brother.
Sure it's special.
All right, man. You take it easy, bud.
You take it easy.
All right, later.
Later.